Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the box room. David Bradley here. I have been continuing to tinker with this disk drive. And I had it run through the disk check program a number of times. And it's funny because it actually did find, supposedly, some blocks that were bad. And I didn't realize what this program does completely is if it finds bad blocks, it will allocate them so that they will not be used, which is something that is routinely done on hard drives. When they come from the factory, there's typically something wrong. So what I'm going to do now, I have other things to do. I've got things to open here, but I'm switching the power supply to the other power supply. I will turn it on, and I will type run, and let this go off and do its magic. Let's see. Now here, this is a magical thing. This is not something from the basement, but this is something I use all the time. It's great to charge things on the go. Like if I go to a movie or TV thing, they don't have plugs for you. They don't want you to plug it in somewhere. They don't want you running up to the hair and makeup to saying, "Oh, can I charge my phone?" So this is a beautiful thing. Now I use it here. I'm just going to find a place to plug it in. Hello, there. It's charging. What I do with it here is I have two microphones, and I charge them with it because once things are charged, it shuts off, so it's not forcing stuff into things that don't need stuff forced into them. Indeed. So this disk drive is going to test. It is. I'm going to turn the monitor off because I have other things. Oh dear. I have a bag here from downstairs. It's kind of opened up a bit. Oh dear. Things are falling. And you know what? I think I can tweak this over a little wee bit. I'm still going to be good here. Oh, this microphone, heavens. It's falling. We can't have that. Okay. So yes, I've been to the basement. Now, here's one thing I found. I've got to figure out how to do. I've got to sort out this lighting so that every time I hold something up, it's not blocking. Like this is a wee little tape recorder. And I got it years ago because, oh dear. This was before we all had phones that did wonderful things and recorded things. If I had to do it again, I would actually take my phone, plug in a little adapter thing, and have a little microphone hidden away in case of things. Anyway, there were times long ago, when I would hear people talking about things that they really shouldn't be talking about because they were doing things that they really shouldn't be doing. And on occasion, this would come in handy to help them better adjust their lives. Now, the other thing we use this for is I had a power adapter. Where did that plug in? Not batteries. Oh, yeah, power adapter. What is that? And had another thing because we were getting threats at the school. Ah, why is that bug buzzing? We were getting threats. So, it's a long story, but anyway, the basics of this are this, is that we had a phone as well as a power supply and a recording thing, and the only time the phone was used was if we thought, based on the number or something coming in, that it might be a threat. And it would only record then. And that was the only time it was used. And I don't know why we had this one phone. Like, it wasn't part of the phone system, but it was this one phone that it just had the one line, which was the main line. Anyway, and eventually we did have some success. Now, the trouble I'm having with this today is it does seem to like to rewind, and it seems to like to fast forward, but it doesn't want to play. Now, this has not been used in a vast number of years. I just put fresh batteries in it. Gotta sort out that lighting. So I believe it is spinning now. It is spinning. So what I'm going to do, it's not spinning very fast. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, and who knows, maybe the tape is extra tight or something, but it does seem to fast forward nicely. I'm going to open this up. As I say, I'm going to open this up. There. I'm going to take the tape out. And I think I can set it on. Yeah, it'll fast forward. Now, that doesn't look like it's going very fast like there. Maybe I'll just. Maybe I'll just put it on play. Oh, maybe it's not spinning. No, it really isn't. Huh. Okay, I guess the rewind seems to go pretty well. The fast forward, not so much. Maybe some lubrication is necessary. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to set it over here. I'm just going to let it spin. While the disk drive continues to spin. Testing this power supply that does not have vents. Here it is, no vents. It's been on for about a day now. It's warm. This one, which has vents, is nice and cool. Imagine that. Let air flow. Alright, so I have been to the basement and I found things. For example, here, I'm going to figure out how to do this properly. Here is a 1670 1200 baud modem from Commodore. Yeah, these were great. This made bulletin boards and things workable. Did. Magical. Meant that pretty much anyone with a Commodore 64 could run a bulletin board because it answered the phone, it talked, it did things. Now, the other thing I have here is the box from a 300 baud modem. This would be for your Commodore 128 SX64, 64, or VIC-20. This is the 300. It was the 1660. And inside we find, ooh, look, I can, a bunch of these that I can register for Q-Link. Q-Link was quite the thing in its time, although a lot of people, I knew people even who weren't that into computers who ran up very large bills. But that's what the idea. Oh, this does look very complete. Sorry. Just set this down for a second. So I have the Q-Link registration certificate as well as the book for the 1660, the 300 baud modem, and inside, ooh, we have the Quantum Link program disk and Common Sense terminal program in 40 columns for your 64. Oh, also it says VT100, 80 column 128, VT52, 80 column 64. Oh, cool. Oh, original. It's funny, I remember talking with Sid Bolton. He loved when things came with discs for Q-Link because then he would and could reuse them for something else for free. Look, important. This is your warranty registration. Fill it out now. Don't delay. I guess I've missed the boat on that. Yep, limited 90-day repair warranty. All right, back to the book. What else do we have in here? Ooh. We have Q-Link, the Commodore connection, and the Q-Link Members Guide. Take a free tour of Q-Link. There it is. And wait for it, another thing for Q-Link, the Local Access Directory, Quantum Computer Services, out of Virginia. Anyway, I think they did pretty well, as even back then people were getting to, oh, wait a second, here's another thing. Ooh, this is a thing, depending on which 64 you had, that you could put over your function keys so you could know what you were supposed to do on Q-Link. Ooh, looks all lovely. Never bent, never touched. And what's even better, if I can get it out of here, and I'm not sure I can, is, ooh, cables. A RCA splitter. Oh. Ooh. This is interesting. This is like a 5-pin cable. I think it's for a VIC 20. And I would like to think it's video, but I don't know. And then, of course, we have a phone cord. And finally, in the bottom of the box, looks untouched, unused, and everything. Oh, it has, oh, I see. It has a sound jack out the back. I don't remember that, but I don't remember. I mostly use the 1670. Maybe that's what those cables are for. So here it is, a 1660, 300 watt modem. Interesting. Well, I would suppose, because perhaps these cables are supposed to be part of the original thing, that I will not score them and do something else with them. I will leave them in there. And I will try. Oh, that didn't work well. I'm trying to get the modem back into its packaging, as it would have been. And it just slides into the box. That's annoying. You would think. See, there's a little bit of a... There's a bit of a thing here. Like maybe you could plug the modem onto the cardboard as if it was the user port. You know what? I don't think if this is going to work, I'm not going to have any luck like this. I have to take it out. I have to line it up, and of course, does it really fit? Not at all. Not at all. I guess it was supposed to just give it a little friction that it might actually stay in the position, but it doesn't. So, you know what? It doesn't. It doesn't do it. Alright, I am going to, with great care and reverence, put the packaging back together. Put the modem into here where it's supposed to sit nicely, but it doesn't. And then I'll put all the stuff back on the top. Let's say, woohoo! And with that, it does look like a pretty much unused, oh, sorry, gotta fold the box in the top here. Unused, certainly everything's there. Of course, if it was used, it'd probably be some dirty or something, who knows. Anyway, that is lovely in the original box. I'm going to try to stick it underneath here with things to be tested. There's the door. Okay, door. Oh, go away, cable door. Oh, we are on the air. Now it's funny. I've got this thing still spinning away. Still spinning away. I'll press play. And it doesn't seem to like to play. But it is spinning. It may mean, who knows, maybe there's belt trouble in there. Anyway, go back to the basement. We found other things, including, yes, it's another 1670 1200 baud modem. Looking mighty fine. Looking mighty good. There are dip switches on the back. I don't remember what they were for. But we'll put that with the other 1200s. And then, let's see what else we find in here. This, right, this is another modem. I always like these, or ones like it, because they had lots of lights on them. And the lights did lots of flashing when things were happening. And this one, I think, is, oh, does it need a power? No, I don't think it needs a power supply. I think it took the power from the port. And if I was daring at this moment, I would plug it into the 64 and give it a try. But it's a TCM 1200H Transcom Inc. 300 1200 baud modem. And if you look here, there is the cable. And at some point, many years ago, I must have done this because it's my writing. It says up. There it says up. So it seems it's modem day. I don't even know if there's a way to test these anymore. There must be some way. Oh, look, looking back, here's yet another 1670. I heard a noise from Kijiji. Just a moment. Another 1670. Let's see what this is, if it's anything worth. Sometimes it might be something magical, sometimes not. Sometimes it's just something about, like, your searches, but the searches aren't anything you're interested in. And it's taking an awfully long time to come up. So, let's go back. Here's another cool thing. This, see, there were modems that used the RS-232 port. And there were printers that used the RS-232 port. And of course you would need, to work on a 64 or 128 or a VIC-20 or whatever, you need an adapter. Okay, so here is an adapter to use either a printer or an RS-232 modem on the 64 coming out of the user port. It has the port there, and it has two switches, whether you want to use a modem or a printer. I don't know what happens if you leave one on one and one on the other, but I don't know why you would. Anyway, it is an Omnitronics computer user I/O port. And I know at some point, I think I used that on a bulletin board that had a Hayes modem, because the Hayes modem was not made for the Commodore 64. It was not, but with the right interface, it was dandy. Now, let's see, is there anything else? There was other things I brought up that were not really computer related. But a couple things that I happened to find that I thought would be pretty good for some things, and I will keep handy, are a couple of paintbrushes. And why? Well, because there are times when I might want to brush some things off, get the dust off, which I can do gently with a little bit of fling. So I will put these into there, and now I will look and see, is there anything else computer related in this bag that I brought up here? And the answer is I don't think so. No. Oh, wait, there's a cord here. Oh, now here's something I can test right now. It is not computer related, but it may be handy. Oh, it's a heavy bag. This, of course, is a phone charger, and it has a cable. And does it work? Well, and now, remember I was saying I really don't want to get into this thing where I have to pull things out of things to know what's what, like cords and cables and things. Well, I'm in that situation. Anyway, I think this gray cord goes to one of the 1541s that I traded for Doritos. So I think I can safely pull that out. And then I can take my phone and I can plug it in. And it says it is charging. So we'll leave it charging. Now the last thing that I got from this. Oh, okay, I see. Yes, I left. Good. I left some of these other 64 power supplies on. Once again, to give them a try. To make sure that they could stand up to the pressure of being on. Now, one of them, of course, is attached to the machine, and it is. The other, let's see, what feels warm here? Neither one, really. Ah! Don't fall down, don't fall down, don't fall down. Let's see here. Okay, that's the one attached to the computer. This one is not, but it may be plugged in, so we'll put it in here. See that we are still at 5.26, so it has not deviated drastically. So it is deemed stable. Now the other one over here, which is from like an original power supply that I really like to work, it was reading at 5.3. It's now been plugged in for a good long time. Huh. And now it is settled at 5.28. Anyway, the reason that I am checking those right now, and now I've got to trace the cord to make sure I get the right one. First of all, they've been tested enough for now. I must trace the cord. Okay, so that cord is okay to unplug. It's not going to mess up what I'm doing on the 64. Because downstairs, oh yes, I found another Commodore 64 power supply. A white one. And it really is pretty. Really pretty. And it's got all twist ties on it like it's never been used, but I don't believe that. But just because it's pretty, it doesn't mean it works. So we will take our power supply testing device made by Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel, and we will plug it in. And we will see that this is coming back at a nice 5.16 volts, which is perfectly within acceptable parameters. Remember, it's supposed to be 5, but that's under load. This is not under load. So I will, while these things are doing their thing here, I'll leave that one plugged in. Now I will sort out which power supply I have plugged in to. Okay, I have this one, the one that's vented, plugged into the Oh my golly. So many cords. Okay, so this one, which is somewhat dirty and filthy, now I can trace back to the plug. Hello, plug. I'll say, okay. Oh, now it needs to be cleansed, which means I will cleanse it, but it will be yes, it is okay. It is okay. Now, how? There's a Sharpie. You know what I think I'm going to do, because I'm going to cleanse this anyway. I'm just going to put a little check mark beside the date, which signifies to me that I have tested this. And yes, it gets warm, but then of course, it has no vents. So I think I will put that in this box next to me. Okay, so this is still running. The tape recorder. Oh dear. How come whenever I press play, I accidentally knock thing closed? It's funny, when I push play on the tape recorder, it starts to spin. And then it says, no, not really. And certainly, when I put it on fast forward, it doesn't go nearly as fast. Oh, now it does. Oh, that's right. There are two speeds on this thing. Basically, it means it uses more tape, or the tape lasts longer. Basically means that the rate of the tape runs through is, I think, I don't have my glasses here, 1.2 or 2.4 or 2.4 or 1.2. Yes, so it picks up the speed. So it's fast forwarding quicker, but will it spin when I press play? It will not. It kind of goes for a moment. Oh, now it's spinning. Well, as I say, I'm going to exorcise it. And if it runs down the batteries, so be it. Anyway, back in the day, it was very helpful. It was. So I'm just looking around to see if there's other matters to deal with at this time. Certainly, I need to tidy up this desk. The drive is spinning quite fine. It's doing quite fine. It's testing quite fine. That bottle is not helping things. It is not. I think I will put it over here. It did, by the way, and I think I mentioned this before, on some of the passes through, as I ran this through and tested, it did report that there were some sectors that were bad, and it allocated them as not able to be used, which is a neat trick. But I would say if you have a disk where there's a bunch of blocks that are bad, might as well copy everything you can off and get rid of the disk, because if one block is bad, probably other blocks will be bad soon. Or copy everything off, reformat, see what's what. So this thing has been going now for, maybe about half an hour, and I think it's about halfway through this. So I am going to continue. I suspect I will go back to the basement. And I will turn off this monitor. I will turn off our recording light. Ooh. I did flip the page on the calendar here. There's a different model who seems to be playing chess. Well, remember, this is from 1967. Golly, 56 years ago. But some things never go out of style. And actually, the thing about calendars are, there's the LEDs, they're okay. Things about calendars are, eventually, that calendar and the dates and everything from, oh, that is getting warmer now that it's in use. Some years down the road, that calendar will be the right calendar again. Is it just the way the days fall? I don't know when. I don't know what. So I'm going to leave this power supply plugged in. This can keep testing. Yeah. This can keep testing. And I will go back to the basement and see what I can see what I can find. I know there's other things down there. What am I running over here? What am I running over? Okay, I guess it was just the bag. And of course, hang on. I have here my mini hot glue gun that is now getting in the way. I will tuck it aside here. I don't want to lose it. Not that I have used it. And you know what? As I have, somewhere I had it a thing. Look, it's another mini glue gun that I've never used. I'll put it with it. There are two in there and a whole bunch of glue. So we'll see if that is handy or what. Anyway, there are other things in the basement, such as, but not limited to, a dust rolly thing. But there's nothing for me to do with that right here, right now. So I'm going to put it back in the bag and sort through some other things that are in the bag. And carry on. And one thing I do know right now, this phone, the one I'm recording on, it needs to charge. More so than the other one, which I now have, I suspect, buried. But if I follow the cord... Oh, it's here. I may be able to find. So, no more messages, no more notices. The message I got on Kijiji, there was a fellow who had a bunch of joysticks listed, and he said $25, but he didn't say whether it was $25 for them all or $25 for one. And so I wanted clarification, and he wanted $25 for each one. He had 4. He now only has 2, but you know what? They have enough joysticks. Now, if there were $25 for all 4 of them, it would be intriguing and interesting enough to be interested. Oh, you know what I can do while I'm here? Hang on just a second. Let me look in the back of this thing. I can do this. This is another microphone-y thing. So while this is spinning, the thing, I just put fresh batteries into the tape recorder. Maybe I should try looking for a real power supply. Maybe that would help get a little extra juice to it. I should put batteries in here, because this has a little selfie thing. It also has a microphone thing, but I'm not sure if it will work on what I have in mind. Okay, so there are buttons here, and that did nothing. All right, is there a switch somewhere? Okay, I think the middle one is supposed to turn on and off. And I'm just double checking the batteries. I do have them in the right way. I'll give them a little workout here. Well, that is annoying. Oh! It's alive! And then, the idea is you can make it brighter or dimmer. Now, okay, it seems you got to hold the button a little bit. So that may be handy. Ooh, okay, it's bright. Even if I don't... See, I have an adapter for the iPhone that would let me... It lets me use headphones, but I don't know if it will do that. But anyway, with that, I can put that... Even if I just use it for the light, it's pretty good. And actually there, this light I can block. This light would be harder to block. This other light here is the vintage hotshot antifreeze can that my dad and his cohorts would have put together for plays that they put on at Fairlawn United Church and Lawrence Park Collegiate. It even has, wait for it, a little clip, not a clip, a little thing that it could be mounted on a stand. And I may have one of those stands. Interesting. Well, I will have to no, I guess I could test it with either phone. I'll have to test and see if this little stand, which would hold the phone, also if the microphone would work with the adapter on the other iPhone. I don't know. I just don't know. But at least I know that the light is working. Now, I suppose what I will do, because I know this is working now, I will reach behind here. I will try and find the button. Turn off the light. I will put the little cover back onto this tape recorder, which may or may not ever work properly again. I don't know. But it did serve us well in the past. And this is one of the things I came up with a plan. And it just seemed that there was, of course, there was no money for anything. So I went and bought the tape recorder and bought the adapter and bought everything. Even though it really should have been something that the institution took care of in order to protect our charges from people who should have charges laid on them. Anyway, maybe one day I'll tell more stories about school comings and goings and happenings and things. But at the moment, this phone needs to charge, and I suspect so do the microphones. And I think I'm going to do that up here, where I've mostly been recording for a bit. But I got to get back downstairs. I've got to go back to the pet room, start working on things. And I've been getting things together to test out the Pet Companion, which is a board made by Rudy of Rudy's Retro Lintel that I can hook up to a pet and see the video from the pet on another monitor, which is good when seeing if you're turning on a pet and you don't know if the monitor works, for sure. Certainly, this can help you see, okay, the monitor isn't working, but the board is working, and other such things. There are more things to it than that, but I got to get on that. I've been getting things together for it, but I've been delayed. I got to take the picture, and then of course there's always life. All right, we're still recording. Things are spinning. I'll bring some more batteries up for this tape recorder here, and we'll see you again back in the box room. Bye for now.